Well, g'day, Groovers. A little bit of drive therapy on the ride home. And for those of you new to my channel, my name is Tori. So for this drive light, my name is Sweet Carolen because that is one of the favourite songs of a scammer that I'm catfishing at the moment. Um, One of the things I do on my channel is scam baiting, where I pretty much waste a scammer's time, elicit as much information out of them as I can to pass on to the authorities, and in the process of wasting their time, I try to make it a lot of fun for you guys. Hi, Anne Marie. But and Anne Marie can attest to this. The life of a scam baiter can be testing. And Faruk, my latest scammer, is needy, draining, and boring as batshit. My phone's a bit top heavy in the bracket, so we're on a bit of a kooky angle. But if I touch it, it will loosen the bracket and it'll end up pointing at the sky. So sorry about that, guys. If an opportunity presents, I will adjust it a little bit. But yeah, it's a little bit heavy at one end. G'day, Francesca. So a bit of drive therapy on the way home because I may need to do a bit of scam baiting tonight with this turd burger. Because tomorrow it's possible I might be having a tooth extracted, and if that's the case, any scam baiting for the next few days, I'm going to sound like this. So I'm not really in the mood to scam bait tonight, but I kind of need people to hold my hand and see what a God, they're annoying. The longer ouch. Oh no, I always like having teeth extracted when they're requiring extraction, because the extraction never hurts as much as they do when they need to be pulled out. And once they're out, I'm like, oh my God, I'm free at last. I've actually got major dental booked for next week. So one extraction is not what's happening. I've got 5 teeth coming out next week. Wisdom teeth, and over the years my little gaps at the front in between my big teeth and then my incisor on one side has widened, and now it's loose, so it's got to come out, which means I'm going to be getting a little plate with, because the tooth that's moved and is pushing all my other teeth is an incisor, but the gap is big. Put another big tooth, so I think they're going to be putting 2 smaller incisors side by side. I don't know. But whether my dentist wants to leave them all till next week or whether he gets rid of this little prick tomorrow, this is a wisdom tooth that's been bugging me for ages, and it was only a matter of time. And I just can't be bothered putting up with it till next week unless my dentist says, we'll just chuck you on some kick-ass antibiotics till next week. But it's pretty loose. I've been pushing it with my tongue in my sleep. One of the symptoms or side effects of anxiety the first sort of thing that was happening that we realised something was wrong was, hello, Anya. I was grinding my teeth in my sleep when I was stressed, and I was breaking teeth because that, like everyone's got their own sort of way that they physically manifest their stress. And for me, it was, a lot of people clench their fists all the time and when they're asleep, but for me it was grinding, and I managed to break 3 teeth, or like the tops of teeth. So I've got a couple of porcelain caps, but actually it's not expensive because I've got private health cover, and my dental, I've got the highest level of dental recover because when I was a little, quite a few members of my family are born with a third set of teeth because we're sharks. They're tiny little teeth, but apparently it's some kind of evolutionary thing because humans are living way longer than we used to. And look at how much money denture companies make, and implants and all that sort of stuff. It's not unusual for people to have to get some kind of false fangs at some point in their life because a second set of teeth just isn't designed to last us till we're 98 or 102 or whatever. So, but because I had them removed as a kid, the only time I've ever been to hospital was to have them taken out. But because they're sitting in between all the roots of your adult teeth, when they get removed, the way the gums sort of heal over isn't always perfect. Like sometimes where that little extra tooth was sitting stays like a little spot, I guess, which means my teeth can move and more quickly than other teeth in other people's heads. And they're pretty much fine until you break your teeth in your sleep and have to have them extracted, and suddenly you've got a gap in your gums, then your little teethies can start moving. So that's somebody just wrote a very long message in lowercase that I can't read it because of where I am in the traffic at the moment, but also I can't see lowercase on the screen. The phone's quite a way away from my face, sorry. Hi to whoever it was and everyone wandering in. Hey, Will, how are you? Happy birthday. It's your birthday week, mate. I did a little donation for your birthday fundraiser too, matey. Happy birthday to Will. Well, it's belated, but only by a day. You're a lovely, lovely guy, Will. I'm sorry you can't sleep, though. I really don't like Facebook much at all these days, and if I didn't have a community of over 10,000 people on it, I'd deactivate my profile tomorrow. But I do love the Facebook charitable causes that you can get people to donate to for your birthday. So last January, with the bushfires in Australia, I had a fundraiser, and not the January, it was 2 Januaries ago, I believe. God, I can't actually remember. Was it 2020? Or was it this year? Anyway, whichever year it was. But I really like it. Like, I like that 100% of your donations go to the charity. Like, Facebook is actually very good with those birthday fundraisers. And also, when it comes to tax time, they send you really good comprehensive invoices and receipts for tax. So, yeah, it's one thing about Facebook that I really like. The naughty 40s will. Oh, see, I told you that was going to happen. My phone is, it's not top heavy, it's side heavy because it's sideways. And we can't touch our phones when we're driving, so I definitely can't read chat now. Sorry, guys. I will try to fix it discreetly at some point, but for the moment, you're on a quirky angle. But yeah, happy birthday, beautiful Will. Welcome to the naughty 40s, and good on you for choosing a fantastic charity for your birthday fundraiser. Friend to me, and it was the least that I could do. I wish I could do more, but it still felt good helping out a little bit. So So, yeah, I may need to go scam baiting tonight because if I get my tooth extracted tomorrow, I'll be speaking like this for a couple of days. I was going to say, Francesca, yeah, the cover I've got for my dental because of my third set of teeth, way back when, and I was on my mum's private health cover as when I had my teeth extracted. But the dentist said to my mum, make sure you tell your daughter when she's no longer on your private health cover that if she's going to get it, she's got to get top tier dental because she's going to have a lot of issues later on. So thankfully, my mum remembered, and thankfully, even at my brokest, I've always been able to keep my private health cover, and I have contemplated not having it. There's a lot of information out there about whether or not you're better off putting the money into a little account and not touching it, and it's there when you need it for any health-related issues. But dental isn't like other elements of our public health care in Australia where you really do get top quality treatment in public health. You don't have to be, I don't think. I've dated two doctors and both of them said when you need to go to hospital and it's an emergency situation, you're going to be taken to a public hospital anyway. And both of them were pretty anti-private health cover. But dental's one of those little areas that falls in the gap, and you don't get admitted to emergency for dental, you know what I mean? So you got to have good cover. So I'm glad I've kept it. And if I was squirreling money into some other account, never to touch, of course I'd touch it. Whenever I see a plane ticket for like a trip overseas, I mean, mind you, with COVID I don't travel anywhere, but back in the day, if I had $2,750 in my savings account, I would walk past a travel agency and there would be in the window some deal to go somewhere in the world that I'd never been before for that exact amount. And I'd be like, it's an omen. And I'd go in and book my ticket. So, yeah, I'm glad that for me, I'm better off the money goes into that fund. But anyway, so the work that I'm getting done next week, the total quote for it was $2,800. And I've already had 2 appointments at the dentist, both of which were completely covered by my private, didn't have any gap to pay. And for next week, part of it might be happening tomorrow, but from 2,800, the quote, the gap I have to pay is 600, which, considering I'm having 5 teeth pulled out and a plate made with fangs to cover the gap at the front of my face, I think that's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. And then my dentist is so cool that they, say, because I'm going to have ongoing fang issues for the rest of my life. But the next time something's got to be dealt with, like, say, a porcelain cap or whatever, my private health cover will actually give me the exact date when I've topped up again and I can start, like, when I'm still in credit. And there's an app on the phone that tells me if I've still got any credit. And I think I've still got like $300 or $400 credit after this thing. So, but if I didn't, the private health cover will give them the date where I'm topped up again. And so he'd book me in the very next day for my next lot of dental so that it gets covered. Happy days. But I'm $600. I mean, I used to pay $600 for 2 visits to the dentist a year. Easy. So, yeah. I've still paid way more for my private health cover than I've ever used. But I use it for my travel insurance, and I've used it in the past for gym memberships. I haven't had to pay a cent on prescription glasses for years because I wait till it's like accumulated, and then I go in and get 2 pairs. And I've always got really nice frames, and I can use it for massages and all sorts of shit. So yeah, I probably haven't used nearly. Well, I know I haven't used as much as I've paid for it, but I've also been very fortunate that I haven't needed to use it very much. This is a riveting conversation. I wanted to bitch about my asshole scammer that I'm catfishing. Oh, thank you, Will. The best thing about getting this plate with the teeth was that the two, I guess they're going to do 2 little teeth. I don't know. I'll show it to you when I've got it. I'm not taking it out, though. Because some fucker will get a screenshot of my gap and they'll be like, hey, redneck Tory. Yeah, not that I give a shit, but I just don't want to give people on YouTube any, well, I don't give a fuck, actually. They can do whatever they want. Oh, shit, your smoke alarm is going off. You better go and check out what's going on. But Faruk, oh, my God. Ian Ellis, you wouldn't know about Faruk. I don't even know, Ian, if you've been on my channel whenever I've been doing scam baiting, but it's a little hobby of mine where I waste scammers' time and get information out of them to pass on to the authorities, and I have a heap of fun fucking with them. Hopefully Francesca's all right. We'll wait for her to come back and say she's okay. But Faruk, my latest fucker, who sent me a message on Messenger back in 2019, and I responded to him in August this year. I went live scam baiting on Saturday night with him. He's clingy, he's needy, and he's got the personality of a wet sponge. And the fucker is messaging me around the clock. So I messaged him the other day and said, look, we've just started, getting to know each other. You're a bit in my face, mate. And we've already had a date night. Like, I'm busy, I work. My friends don't message me as much as you do, you motherfucker. I didn't say that, I should have. But just back off a little bit, dude. And he was sending me messages, including one that said, I love you, which I can't stand. And I've literally went scam baiting live one night, and before that had a few messages going backwards and forwards for a week and a bit. But other than that, I had to pretend Great Aunt Violet, who's fictitious, I might add, carked it. So, I was a bit busy with a funeral and grieving. But it makes me so mad that people fall for this shit. Like, I know that loneliness is a horrible, horrible place to be. And like the Willem said, there's no aphrodisiac like loneliness. But how do people fall for these romance scammers telling them that they love you after like a week and a half when you've barely friggin' spoken to these people or got to know them? It's so sleazy and gross, and he's gross. He's so gross. You did a voiceover, Will? They're all gross. They're scammers. They're gross. But this one's particularly gross and needy. And anyway, so I've muted him on Messenger because my phone was just going bing, bing, ding, ding, ding. And I was like, Faruk off, mother Faruka. But I sort of want to fuck with him too now because he's annoying me that much that I'm kind of like, yeah, I actually want to get your information and I want to report you. He's a different romance scammer to the romance scammers of the past because I was not familiar with this type of romance scam. But basically, Ruth and maybe it was Scout Inquirer, somebody else in chat during the live scam baiting was saying that, especially in the UK, that these Turkish men are married with children, but they basically seduce a Western woman in another country, and marry, or I don't know if they marry them, but they move to, like, say, London, and they send money back to their wife and children in Turkey. You did a voiceover for the story. Did you send me something that I haven't seen? You might have, Will. I'm really sorry. My new job, I love it so much. It's really busy, but it's not stressful busy, which I said to my boss yesterday. She's like, you can get really busy. And I'm like, yeah, but busy to me doesn't equate to stress. It might equate to pressure for me. But when you've got a really supportive boss and co-workers and you're in a really positive, supportive environment, you know that you're going to... Oh, you did one episode of My Life's Game Baiting. Yes, you did. That's what you're talking about, Will. Yes, you did. Um, I've got to upload more of the soft 6 onto Smooth Criminal Podcast so then I can upload the soft 34. I think that's what you're talking about. It's hard for me to read chat at the moment, Will, because I'm moving. I'm not getting a lot of opportunities to look at my screen. But yeah, so my new job, even though I've had busy days, I'm leaving work and I'm feeling happy. And today I was the only one there because my boss and one of my co-workers, there are only 3 of us on today, but they were both working from home for different reasons. And I still felt supported, even though, it's a ceremony. I'm in the building with people I know and I've worked with since November last year. So, I'm not alone. But I can't keep up with social media or anything like that while I'm working because I love my job and the phone's ringing. I want to do my job and I don't check the phone. So if anyone has been sending me messages and stuff like that, it's not that I don't love you. It's just that on the days that I work, it's all about work, and then I get home and it's all about Sunny and the gym. But it might be about Faruk tonight. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure whether to go live or not. If I don't go live, I can go live maybe on Saturday again. Maybe do it once a week. I asked him to back off a bit. I was finding him a bit full on. And I said, you can ask me on a date and we can lock in a time, but you can't keep messaging me all hours of the day and night because I don't like you. No, I didn't say that to him, but I don't like him. He's horrible. They always are horrible. He's very horrible, though. Yeah, the water did look beautiful going over the causeways. This little bypass that's going in is happening really quickly. We'll all be excited the first time I drive home and I get to go on the new bypass. So the bypass road is it's to the right of me, and it means that anyone that lives further down the peninsula, like Sorel is sort of the last main town before you head either up the east coast of Tasmania or down the peninsula. And so anyone that lives down on the peninsula, including me, we'll all be heading, I'm at the top of the peninsula, but we'll all be bypassing Sorel. We won't have to go through this little shortcut. But yeah, so I just want to have some drive therapy and tell you about how annoying Faruk is, because he told me his favourite song is Sweet Caroline by Neil Diamond, although I have to go back and check, but I'm pretty sure he said it was either Sweet Carolen or Carolen. I can't remember, but I'll go back and check. I'm going to ask him to call me that from now on. I had a lot of fun. I played Neil Diamond on my live and found I'm always I use bad dancing gifs all the time in my real life. I send them to my friends and stuff. But I found a newbie the other night. This dude looks like he's on a tennis court with some crazy dance moves that just match Sweet Caroline perfectly. Mel did a little outro and put it up on her channel as well. But um, the inspiration behind that outro was probably the new bad dancer that I found. I was actually looking for my favourite one, which is the girl who's offered tits at a music festival. But I stumbled across this other dude in a jumpsuit, and he got the starring role. But I always crack myself up when we're live scam baiting when I start posting gifts and stuff, and then I realise that he's just getting blasted with all of these gifts from me, but he's not actually listening to the music while I'm doing it, so it must be weird for him. But meanwhile, we're all having a scam baiting dance party. I have no intention of including him in any scam baiting parties. Everything we do in there is literally taking the piss out of him, so he don't get no invite. Yeah, it's so sad Neil's got Parkinson's. I actually saw him perform in Australia, and I mean, I grew up with my mum playing Hot August Night 24/7 for about 5 years, I reckon. So I know so much of his music, and I know every word to every song that ever got played around our house. But yeah, I actually saw him performing in Adelaide, and it was a really good show. His son, I think from memory, and it's been probably 20 years, but I think his son was called Jesse. He was actually playing on stage with his dad, which was really lovely. Um, as well. But it was quite funny because the last song was I'm not sure if I'm going to get the name of it right, but it's the We're Coming to America song. We're coming to America, that one. Um, but the biggest fucking American flag I've ever seen in my life unfurled from the top of the Adelaide Entertainment Centre. It was fucking gigantic. And then when it filled the entire back of the stage, I guess. And I don't know how they did it because it unfurled like it was a fabric flag. But the next thing it lit up, once it had sort of landed, and it kind of was unfurling like fabric, and then suddenly it was like this solid wall. And then it all turned into fairy lights. It is coming to America. So you've got this fuck off gigantic American flag, which, it's appropriate for the song. But I can't remember what was going on at the time that we saw Neil Diamond, but there was a bit of tension in the air when that happened because there was something that the US of A was doing that Australia was protesting against. It was one war, one invasion of a country, but I honestly can't remember which one. And because Australia is an ally with the US under a few treaties, we were kind of politically obligated to help out, but it was not a war that Australians felt was justified or good. I don't know if it was the war against terror. How old am I? Anyway, whatever it was. So it was a kind of interesting move for him to make because I don't think anybody in the arena would have minded him singing that song because it was it's one of his classic tunes. But the timing of it, like if he just sung it, I don't think there would have been the same reaction. But this gigantic American flag really rubbed people the wrong way. And I was in a corporate box. The venue had these sort of corporate boxes where, your ticket, your drinks, your food, everything was all inclusive, and big comfortable chairs, and all had really good views of the stage. And there were a lot of people in not just the corporate box that I was in, but ones near us, where there are a lot of people that were very vocal about the whole, probably not best to be going a little bit overly patriotic about America in a concert in Australia where we're kind of not happy with what the US is doing at the moment. No, it wasn't the Sydney Opera House. I saw him in Adelaide, so I'm pretty sure it was the Adelaide Entertainment Centre, Will. Hello, Sue Meek. I haven't seen your name around for a while. How are you doing, Gruber? So, yeah, it was kind of interesting. And then years later at Blues Fest, I met a guy that's a saxophonist in a band from San Francisco called Conbrio. And the first time they played at Blues Fest, nobody had ever seen them or heard of them before. And they blew everybody away. Like, they were unbelievably good. And they've got a song, another very patriotic USA song, with lyrics like "In the Land of the Free" and "The Home of the Brave." It's actually a really boppy, fun song, and everyone at this music festival had a lot of fun dancing to it. Like, it's a really cool song, but it's also a very patriotic US song. And the first year they were at Blues Fest, in fact, that first performance, the lead singer, Zeke, got a huge American flag that he could carry. And he also had a jacket with an American flag on the back. And he was kind of waving them around and strutting his stuff. And it didn't bother me because, I mean, they're American and the song's about America. It made sense. But he must have got some feedback because the next night when they performed again, he came out and he said, I really want to sing this song because it's one of our best songs to dance to, but we're a bit confused because people said to us that we shouldn't have sung it yesterday, or we shouldn't have been so America's amazing and who gives a shit about Australia. I can't remember what his words were. And he said, I'm confused, like, is it okay Americans here or not? And we're all like, no, it's great to have you guys here. But I could kind of see why somebody or a few people might have said to them, look, you might want to tone down the patriotism a little bit, because even though Australians are patriotic about Australia, it's nothing like the US. I mean, I lived in the US. I did the Pledge of Allegiance every morning at school, sang the American national anthem with pride. I've never seen patriotism like it. And I've never seen patriotism like it since anywhere in the world. And I think it's admirable, but I also think when you are that patriotic and you're in another country, you kind of need to tone it down a little bit, maybe. Like, I don't know, if you guys have travelled, I travelled as an exchange student, and there are a lot of people in my year as exchange students who were young and stupid and said some dumb things, and a lot of them we were all in America, and a lot of them were, well, in Finland, we do this and it's much better. And I used to think, that's not how you travel. Like, you're in a different country. Learn about the country you're in and don't make comparisons. That's why travel's amazing, because you get to go to places that are nothing like where you live. Find the good in that place, and celebrate the things that make it what it is. Make it, the characteristics of that country that make it unique. Um, so I guess it's probably the same when bands are touring. If they go to another country, like we all travel a lot. It's not like this. It's not like there's anyone on the planet now that isn't aware of other countries around the world. But I think you've got to be a bit conscious of where you are. Like it's great to be proud of where you're from and to say that, but you probably only need to say it once. You don't really. I don't know. I just don't think it's cool to be standing on a stage basically saying your country is better than any other country in the world when you're in another country in the world, if you know what I mean. Yeah, my internet probably is thing. It does. It drops out when I'm driving into my little hometown because, as you would know, Dales, driving out in the country, and there is a black spot back on the road where it does drop out every time. Doesn't matter whether I'm on the phone or. Thanks to my scammer, I've now had a bit of drive therapy about how people should be open to other cultures and countries and not expect the rest of the world to be like where they're from, or expect I mean, you just don't walk out on stage and tell people you're from the best country in the world when you're not in that country. Like if he said it on stage at home back in the US of A, the crowd would have gone wild. But, there was a bit of confusion in the audience. None of us had an issue with the song. The song is great to dance to. But maybe don't tell everyone who's watching you perform, all 25,000 of them, that you're from a better country than the one you're performing in, yeah. But anyway, he stopped doing that. We reassured him that we loved that they had come all the way from America to perform and all the rest of it, but he just dropped we've travelled from the best country in the world to perform at you, in front of you in your inferior country attitude. Joey Wilson, g'day. Was it sweet? It was. It was sweet. Was it Carolen or Caroline? I've got to go back and see because I'm going to make that prick call me that from now on. I'll just take you all down to the beach for a sec. Because a few groovers have arrived before I log off and go home to my floof. Faruk is doing my Faruking head in, Joey. Oh my God, he's needy and annoying and boring as fuck. I told him he needs to invite me on date nights because he just messages me around the clock. He's muted on Messenger, but the last message I got from him was at 3 a.m. this morning. Oh, so it was Carolen. Okay, I'll change it. I thought it was Carolen. I'll fix that. Either way, it was still wrong. Sweet Carolen. Bum, bum, bum. Quite a few surfers out there, considering the sun has a few minutes left in the sky. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Catching the last waves that are almost ripples. Yeah, he did write it for Caroline Kennedy. Well, I heard that too, but well, I'll double check anyway, because whichever one it was, I'll make sure that I get that. Not that Faruk spelling, not that he'd know that I misspelled it back to him, but God is a shit. So why I went live was because tomorrow afternoon I'm potentially going to be getting a tooth extracted and I won't be able to go live tomorrow night because I'll be speaking like this. I've got major dental booked in for next week, but one tooth that was coming out next week's already playing up, and I don't know if I can tolerate it for another week. But my dentist might say it's better to get them all done together and just give me a big fat dose of antibiotics. I don't know, because it feels like it's getting infected and it's hurty. It's hurty. I always do a quick little swing down to the beach before I sign off. So I've got the next 2 days off, and I know that I'll be better for some sham baiting on the weekend, but I might keep him on the back burner. I might just remind him that, well, he doesn't work and he's got no money. I do work and I'm very busy. And I did ask him to let me know what night he wanted to have a date night, and I don't think he has. Well, I haven't checked his messages because I'm really... I love scam baiting, but they can become so full on, and this one's been full on from the start. And on top of that, he's got no personality, and his script that he's using is so small that I'm just so sick of the same emojis and the same comments. But I did get an "I love you," and I've berated him for that. I'll be fine, Will. It's but a tooth. You're the one that needs to hang in there now that you're 40. So once again, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Will the Rocker. Happy birthday to you. Will is one of my favourite buddies I've made on the YouTubes. Hi, Anne-Marie. Making a home. Oh, don't thank me for my bad singing. Oh, look, I don't muck around with my fangs. That's why I'm seeing the dentist tomorrow. Get that mother out. But he might... When I spoke to the dental nurse this morning, she did say that my dentist will make the call on whether it's worth leaving it till next week, because there's a lot of stuff happening next week, and that tooth is one of many booked, well, 5 that is going to be removed. But then there's a whole plan, a recovery plan in place as well. And he might say, I'd rather we get you on some pretty strong antibiotics and save the extraction till next week because of the healing plan. Like, he might say, I don't know. But if he whips it out tomorrow, bring it the fuck on, because I'm sick of waking up to it giving me the shits, and there's only so many Aspro Clears you can take in a day. You're not old. 40 is a fabulous age. I loved turning 40. I just don't know how I got from 40 to 54 so quickly. That's the thing I can't handle. So make the most of it, because, you know, now that you have turned 40, you will wake up one day and you'll be like, how the hell did I get to 50? I don't have an issue with my age, because a lot of my friends, sadly, didn't even make it to this age. But what I do have an issue with is, how did I get here so quickly? Especially when in my mind I'm still 9 3/4, you know. I'll give Sunny extra smooches from you, Will. She does send her love. That little gift for you was from both of us. Yeah, tooth pain sucks, Joey, but how great is it when it comes out? I have no problems because of my anxiety and my grinding and breaking teeth in my sleep. So many people are like, oh, God, I hate going to the dentist. And I'm like, I love it, because if you've got a toothache and you've got a loose tooth and it needs to come out, the only thing I can't stand, and I'm never going to like it, and I'm dreading it next week, The bloody anesthetic injections, they hurt more than the tooth and the pulling of the tooth and the recovering. You have TMJ bad. What is TMJ? You just don't give a fuck, even more so. Exactly. You run out of fucks to give. You're way more accepting of your flaws and your body and everything else. I mean, I have nothing bad to say about my body. It is completely imperfect, but it fucking got me to 54, you know? So, and I've made some poor life choices throughout my lifetime. So my body's looked after me, despite me not always looking after it. Oh, your jaw pops at night. Ouch. Yeah, I'm a grinder. My sister's a grinder. Um, and it's amazing how strong our jaws are and our tongues, because this wisdom tooth at some point, maybe a year ago, niggled me a bit. And ever since then, in my sleep, my tongue has been pushing it to try and get it out of my mouth, I guess. And now it's succeeded in really loosening it. It's so weird having a wobbly tooth, like an adult tooth. It hurts. I don't remember when I was a kid my wobbly teeth hurting. I just remember that they wobbled. But when you're an adult and it's your second lot of teeth and they wobble, they fucking hurt. They've got much bigger roots and they're pushing against the nerve, and maybe that's why, I don't know, but ouch. But I'm a tough cookie and I'll be getting it sorted out tomorrow afternoon. So tomorrow I'm going to go to the gym and do a couple of things in the morning, because I probably will not feel like doing much at all on Thursday, and then I'm back at work on Friday. There is no wisdom in teeth. You had to wear a retainer. Yeah, I'm a friggin' grinder. But, people's stress manifests in so many different ways. Actually, I don't know. Being a grinder is probably one of the worst, to be honest. It's not nice. Do you know what the worst thing is? Is breaking a tooth when you're asleep and waking up to the sound of the cracking noise. Oh my God, it's awful. It's awful. But the one great thing is the tooth at the front that's got to come out, because I've also loosened that with my tongue at night when I'm asleep. And it's been moving. When they did the color matching with my teeth to make the little teeth that are going to fill that gap, my teeth are teen white. And I was like, oh, I don't know what that means, but it sounds good. And the dentist is like, your teeth are the color of teenagers' teeth. Hey, thingamajig. Must be a combination of both of our internets. You've refreshed multiple times. Well, thank you, sweetheart, and thank you for all the lovely flowers and hearts. Have a great night too, gorgeous. You never got the wisdom teeth. Your lucky thing. I got them, and it was like, all my friends were having them removed when they were like way younger. And I'd say to my dentist, like, why am I coming out? Oh, there's no need. And then I think it was a couple of years ago, my dentist said, oh, that wisdom tooth at the back is going to be problematic down the track. And this is the tooth that's now hurting. And I was like, well, why don't you rip it out now? Like, it's going to be a problem. But they keep them in your gums as long as they can, because if they pull them out, like I've had to with the ones that I broke, then you've got room in your mouth and other teeth can start moving, which is why I've ended up with a wobbly tooth at the front, my redneck gap. That tooth has had a little bit of extra room to move with, and so it's pushing against the next tooth, saying, let's head down the back, motherfuckers. And they're like, we're getting rid of it before it fucks the next lot of teeth. Oh, yeah, I had braces on my top teeth. I feel so bad for my mum and dad and the ridiculous amount of money they had to pay for my braces, because now I'm like, I mean, my teeth are still straight from when I had braces, but half of them are going to come out. Not half of them, but you know what I mean. But yeah, when they tighten them, or when they gave you the new rubber bands and they were smaller and tighter. Ouch. You had buck teeth, Will. Oh, bless. Yeah, wisdom teeth are a nightmare. A friend of mine's just had all four of hers removed in hospital because hers were all compacted. And yeah, it's pretty major, gross, gross. I mean, I'm having mine out in the chair. I don't care, but my teeth look very beautiful. Well, I'm going to have a false tooth or two teeth soon because the gap to the next to my big teeth is the size of another big tooth. They're not going to put like a third big tooth in because that'll look stupid. So they're going to put like two. I don't know if it'll be two incisors or it'll be like two baby teeth. I don't know what they're going to do. Be interesting to see. All I know is they'll be teen white. Isn't it funny when you get older, like something as simple as your dentist telling you you've got the color of teenagers' teeth can make your day? You know, I'm sitting there hearing I've got to have five teeth pulled out of my head. I've got to wear a retainer that's going to have two little fake teeth on it. I don't give a shit about any of that news because my teeth are teen white. I don't know why people get their teeth whitened to the point that they look like they can't be natural. It's weird. Like, it's lovely to have clean white teeth, but why do people get them whitened to the point that you're like, that is not a natural tooth color? Yeah, you don't want your whizzies. Ah, so you've got a fake tooth. What's it like, Will? Is it? I've never had a fake tooth. I mean, I'm gonna ultimately all my teeth will probably need to come out at some point, and I'm going to get implants for my two big teeth, but everything else will probably be over the next 20 years. I'll probably end up with more fake teeth in my mouth than real ones. Do you have any problems with it, Will, or is it fine? One of my friends had to have all of her teeth removed when she was younger. I don't remember the reasoning behind it, but they had to all come out. So she's had like a full set of fake teeth for most of her life, ever since she's had adult teeth. I need to speak to her and ask her what it's like. It's a plaster they made and they use a laser light to harden the plaster. It really is amazing. Well, even this porcelain cap that they put on a tooth up the back on one side the other day, another tooth that I'd ground during my sleep. Actually, no, that one broke because I was eating chewy Milo. That was chewy Milo tooth. But the technology that he scanned my mouth and the tooth, and it came up on a computer screen and it showed the bit that I'd broken off. And then he got a little pencil, essentially like a digital pencil, and just drew an outline and sort of filled it and then hit send. And it sent it off to this little machine. And 12 years, 12 years, 12, I was just reading your message, Will. 12 minutes later, there's a porcelain cap pops out of this machine and he just glued it on my tooth and sent me home. 35 years and it's still there. Wow, that's amazing. Look at that gorgeous sky. I think it's just you're lucky all yours are gone. All yours gone are in the back. Yeah, well, the problem I had was the ones that I broke were all in the back, but because they had to come out, a couple of them came out, it made a gap that meant the other teeth at the front could all start moving. I have a cat. Speaking of, I'm about to go home and see mine and feed her. So this was just a little sign off at the beach because, I mean, I love showing you the sky at night. Look at it with the headlights off. And there's still a couple of surfers out there. Well, one's coming in. There's one I think I hope he's catching his last. His or her, oh no, there's two still out there, but I hope they're going to catch their last waves in. This sort of surfing in the dark thing freaks me out a bit. There's another one who's coming on in. Sweet dreams, Will, and happy birthday once again. And thanks for hanging out with me. I've left all my issues with Faruk the scammer out here. They'll drift away. Are you going to do? Oh, well, that's what I was live about the cat, because I've got a tooth that's got to come out tomorrow. I was thinking about maybe speaking to him tonight, but I've decided I'm not going to. He's really clingy, really pushy, messages me night and day. And I told him to come up with a day that we could have a date night. And he's been messaging me, but I haven't been looking at his messages. I'll probably look at them tomorrow after I get my tooth pulled out, because I really won't give a fuck about him if I'm dealing with once the anaesthetic wears off. I probably won't. The pain I'll be in, I won't be fussed talking to him. Like, it's the perfect time to talk to him is when I'm feeling like shit. So I probably will be doing my next scam baiting live either Friday night or Saturday night in Australia, or maybe a daytime one. I sometimes do a daytime one so people in the US can join in as well. Like, it's kind of like a matinee for Australians, but I'll let you know. I'll set a reminder and everything. I'll set up the live. But he's already said, I love you. He said, I love you in a message to me the day after we went live with him. So that grossed me out. And I've told him off for saying that. It's like, don't say that. That's not cool. It's not cool. There isn't one thing I like about him. Like, legitimately, if I met this dude, I would not get his phone number. I'd never speak to him again. I already know enough about him, and I know very little about him, but I already know enough about him to know that there is nothing likable about him at all. But yeah, he does want Violet's money. So do I. Shame she's fictitious. So yeah, I was thinking I might do it tonight, but I think because I'm getting a bit of a throbbing mouth again, I might take some more. Hey, Ozzy, just signing off, gorgeous. I've just got home. Yeah, I don't think I will message him tonight. I think I'll just hang out with Sunny. I've got the next couple of days off. I won't be able to do it live tomorrow because I think my mouth's going to be sore and I'll be speaking like this. And then I could maybe do it on Thursday during the day, but not Thursday night because I'm working on Friday. So it's not that exciting, Ozzy. I was just a bit of drive therapy about my latest scammer who's doing my Faruking head in. And it was Will the Rocker's birthday. They were the highlights of this live. So that was the good bit of the live, was it's Will the Rocker's birthday. But thanks for hanging out with me, everybody. And I'll go inside and hang out with Sunny Bum. I'll definitely set a live up so you guys can all, click the reminder. Yeah, I will, the cat, thank you. But yeah, I think tomorrow night, if my mouth is throbbing and I'm grumpy about it, it might be the perfect time for me to talk to this shithead. He doesn't deserve Tori when Tori's having a good time. He deserves Tori in pain. So, with previous scam baitings, I often chat to them for a while before I get to go live again. And like I did with Joey the other day in that live, which was so much fun, we do a recap of, what had happened, where things were left off, and then we do we go through what's happened since then, and then we start live scam baiting again. The one thing I do know about this guy, because he's not working, he's available to chat pretty much night and day. So whenever I do go live, it's most likely he will chat with me. But anyway, you're awesome, all of you. And once again, happy birthday, Will. And if you see Will the Rocker around, wish him a happy birthday because it's his birthday week. And take care out there. And as Ozzy says, see you soon. Bye, Groovers.